Welcome to Gray Overload, and Microsoft has decided to go a different direction with Microsoft Edge. So Microsoft Edge will be getting a new core, and what I mean by this is that the outside, the look of Edge, may be updated a little bit as Microsoft has updated Edge throughout time, but they're going to make the engine underneath that renders all the web pages and everything else move over to the Chromium project. Now this project is what is Google Chrome is based off of. So it's really kind of cool that Microsoft's moving to this and then can contribute back into the Chromium project and hopefully do some improvements to the Chromium project for Windows devices and just all devices in general. So only time will tell to see how that evolves over time, but the Microsoft Edge going and using Chromium is going to be this support for it is going to be interesting as a fact, because they're going to not only bring Edge to Windows 10 with this upgrade, so it's probably going to change the UI slightly. Probably not going to be a universal Windows platform based anymore, but it's probably going to be more towards something that can also run on Windows 7 and Windows 8, because that's what they've mentioned, is that it's going to run on those. So we're going to have a slightly different UI look to it, feel probably, and they're saying that they might even eventually bring it to macOS, as well as I'm thinking of other things that they could actually bring it to. Like, I'm thinking that maybe they could even implement it for Linux, and so people on Linux could use it if they so choose. One thing that I do wonder is if they're going to bring it to HoloLens, Xbox, and some of those platforms. I really hope they do. I use the browser on the Xbox quite a bit, to help with workout stuff and everything else, watch some stuff that doesn't have apps on the Xbox, but time will tell to see how that goes there. I also think that servicing this could easily go through the store. I know that people are like, well, it's not a UWP app, like how would that work? Well, on Windows 7, Windows 8, it could just update through. I don't see a need for it to be in Windows Update at all, but you could get the same servicing kind of mechanism you get when you do Office 365, and you have that on subscription through the store. Some of the same stuff there for the Windows 10 users, especially since there's only 12 months, just over 12 months left of Windows 7 support. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Microsoft, though, did say that this is supposed to improve Edge overall, and that they're going to be working to make sure that there's less standards out there. And what I mean by standards, just an implementation out there that only works in one browser. So we'll see if this now shifts to everything rendering more cohesively across multiple different browsers, and better testing from devs on those different engines underneath. So we still got Firefox, Gecko's engine. We have Safari, which that engine is WebKit. That needs a lot of help, I think, overall. And then you will have the Chromium project. So they're losing one. I like the diversity. I hope that there's a lot of innovation there in the Chromium project, or in it, like the Firefox engine. So if there's stuff that needs to be improved, like, they're competing enough to keep it going forward. I don't want some stagnation happening. I'm a developer that likes to see improvements overall. I like to see new hardware stuff. I love digging into hardware all the time, and researching hardware. I'm a computer engineer by trade here, so I like both sides a lot, and I like to see that innovation. That's what excites me about the tech industry as a whole. And stagnation is bad for the consumer, I think, overall, where it's just not going to be conducive to them. So I'm really hope that Microsoft puts their efforts in and they really stick to their guns on their open source project side of things. So Microsoft's saying that the initial areas of focus is going to be ARM64 and getting this to run on ARM. They've already started work on Chromium for ARM64, so that's kind of cool. So that means those Snapdragon processors that are coming to Windows devices, they should be have better experiences with this browser. And then accessibility. So I always like hearing accessibility. That's one thing they're going to focus on. So I'm excited to see how that improves. They're also going to talk about more the evolution of the PC. So you got touch screens, you got pen input devices, and improving that. Smooth scrolling, great clear text is what I'm all hoping that comes into this Chromium project that Microsoft put a lot of work into their Edge stuff already. And security. Now, that's just one thing that everyone should be saying anyways and be working on, because we need some stuff to be more secure. And then their principles, I'll leave the link below just to kind of see what they're saying. They're saying making this decision for the long term. Microsoft has been starting to do things where they're switching a little bit better. They do have to start sticking things, because as a developer, I'm starting to not put as much faith into Microsoft that what they say is what they're going to be doing. There's just, we haven't moved probably as fast as we should in the software industry as a whole, but we're moving faster, but we're starting to choose technologies that things are going to stick for the long haul. Like, I'm talking about languages and everything else on the back end that most people don't see. And there needs to be commitment there, Microsoft, on the whole stack. When you start switching things at a user front end, developers want to make sure that, stuff is going to be there in a few years, not be removed from underneath our feet, and then all of a sudden we have to go scramble. So they also said they're going to seek improvements to web platforms, and they're going to respect architectures and engineering process across devices, which is key. It can even open up more opportunities for different devices to then use this and benefit from the improvements Microsoft puts in. I'm very interested to see how this goes. I understand Firefox's position, which is, they're sad to see Edge and Microsoft get out of the render game, and that it's more important than ever that they are the alternative, and they improve and do have an alternative for people that don't want to actually use the Chromium project or see what else is out there. So I see their side of things, and I have some of their same concerns. So, but overall, maybe this might improve Edge on Windows, might actually help Microsoft Edge out and improve the Chromium project across different browser types. So only time will tell. But I really want to know what your thoughts are on this whole thing. If you don't care, let me know. If you care, awesome. Let me know what your direction is. I still have mixed feelings about it, and only time's going to tell to see when this comes out for me and it installs and how it operates, to see if it was something that paid off, or to see if it's just something that may die sooner rather than later. It might not be in for the long haul. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to support Gray Overload and helping this channel grow. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.